Hello everybody. Hello. Welcome to another Q&A. This is your favorite host of all time, Erick Landon RPG. And as you can see right now, I look ridiculous. And as you can see right now, I finally have the names of the song, the names of the composer, and the names of the game they belong to. That's because I'm using one of my videos, one of the compilation videos that I've done in the past. It's not an actual playlist. Yep, this is from, as you can see, Dusk Diver 2. You want me to make it bigger? Should I make it bigger? Yeah, let's make it bigger. Because I know for a fact most of you are watching this on your phone. You won't be able to see crap unless I make it bigger. But that's as big as it's gonna get. Oh yeah. So there you go. This is called Lost in the 44. The composer is Silaver. This is a Taiwanese RPG, I think, from, well, obviously from Taiwan. This is on Switch, PS4, PS5 maybe, Steam. Great music, great soundtrack. The game is full of problems, kind of broken. I made a rant about this game on my second channel, and I've covered this on my main channel too. It was featured in the last episode of Hidden Gem or Hidden Trash, the Indie RPGs edition. Yes, this is a bit of an indie RPG, but at the same time not really. Got some funding, and it was published by Idea Factory in North America, so I'm not sure if you could call it indie, but who the fuck am I to know, right? What the hell do I know? Anyway, on to your goddamn questions. You recently saw my video of Monochrome Mobius, and thanks to that, you are addicted to the game. That is a really good game. Should have been featured in my massive Hidden Gems, my Hidden Gems compilation video, the best Hidden Gems ever. I didn't make it. It was too soon to include it. Nayuta here made it. Yep. And I didn't know you were live. You're early today. A little bit earlier, just like 10 minutes earlier than usual. Happy Sunday to you too. Yeah, this is my usual haircut. I'm not the type of guy. I used to be for most of my life. I used to be the kind of guy who went to the saloons, to the how the fuck do you call them in English? To hairdressers. You know, to those places I used to go like once a month. And I was like, man, I'm spending a lot of money here. So what I'm gonna do from now on is just cut my hair like this, almost bald, with a freaking machine. And then come back every 5 or 6 months. So I only cut my hair like twice a year, I guess. 2-3 times a year. It's much better and you save a lot of money. And plus I fucking hate going to those places. Well, I play at the barbershop, thanks. So the places that I go to, that I've been going for the past several years, they always have this 80s or 70s or 60s pop music, which is okay, you know. But all the other places, you know, have the worst fucking music you can imagine, the worst fucking music ever, man. So I don't go to those. I go to the same 2 places, and they're kind of far away. I have a place nearby here, but no, I don't even know what kind of music they play there, and I don't want to know. Anyway, worst, most popular JRPG story-wise. Worst, most popular JRPGs in terms of story. That is an interesting question. I mean, it's a very popular JRPG, but it's got one of the worst stories. Okay, I think the best example I can come up with is Final Fantasy X-2. That is a Final Fantasy game. That is a very popular game. And it's got one of the worst fucking stories ever created in the history of JRPGs. So, yeah. I know it's a sequel to Final Fantasy X, and I may be biased. No, I'm not maybe. I am biased because I fucking hate the game and I never finished it, so maybe the story gets better near the end and some cool things happen. I don't give a shit. To me, that story is fucking garbage and I don't need to finish the game to know it's fucking garbage. So That is my answer to you. Wow. Final Fantasy X too. Horrible story. And it's very popular. Are you going to release... missed the question, man. Have you seen that new Mana game is being developed? It's called Visions of Mana. I haven't watched the trailer, I just saw the news. Somebody mentioned it a couple of days ago during the What the Hell Happened stream. It wasn't a stream, it was a premiere. Man, that's that was a massive, that's the biggest compilation I've ever done in my life. Over 4 hours long, every single What the Hell Happened to episode in one video. Oh yeah, you can watch it on my main channel right now if you want to. Yeah, I made a compilation. And I was cringing the entire stream. Well, it wasn't a stream, again, it was a premiere. I was cringing because I can't believe how bad my English pronunciation was. How I was fucking up constantly and I didn't even bother editing that out. Cutting those parts, those fuck-ups. And then the quality of the video, the frame rate issues of my camera. Oh, man. Good old times, right? Good old times. Yeah, that was me. That's me. That's 5 years ago. Fuck, it's been 5 years since that series started. And it ended 4 years ago. A little bit over 4 years ago. Can't believe how things have changed. Yeah. Nowadays, I use better quality, better production values, bigger production values. Anyway, so check out the massive compilation of What the Hell Happened to the entire series on my main channel. All of it in one video. What do you think about the completionist not donating to charity, making YouTubers look bad? I haven't the foggiest idea what you're talking about, man. What are your thoughts on Final Fantasy IV, the after years? It exists. It isn't bad, it's good, but it's like... If they were going to make a direct sequel to Final Fantasy IV, they should have released like a brand new sequel or like a proper sequel, you know, like Final Fantasy IV 2. Something like that. But yeah, that little sequel that had on the PSP version, that's on the PSP version if I'm not mistaken. It's okay, it's good, you know, it's fun, but it's nothing special to be honest. You need to be like a really die-hard fan of Final Fantasy IV to properly enjoy it. And I've actually seen die-hard Final Fantasy IV fans complaining about it. It isn't bad. I don't think it's bad. I think it's good, you know, but it's just... It's like, it's there, it exists, it's okay. Did you ever play the Neo series? No, never. Once, as soon as I heard they were like Souls-like games, I was like, nah, not interesting, not interested. You're watching me while you are in military service? Okay. Didn't know you were a soldier. A lot has changed. Yeah, a lot has changed. If you go back and watch that compilation, you're gonna be like, oh my god. Yeah. Anyway, Visions of Mana, I haven't watched the trailer, but I'm very happy to see that the Mana series has made a comeback. It's good because we all thought the series was dead, and then it revived with the remake, Trials of Mana, which I finished recently, by the way. Lovely game, but sometimes I think sometimes remakes and remasters aren't enough to resurrect a series. Like talking about the What the Hell Happened to series that I did. Some things have changed. I mean, there was Valkyrie Profile in there, and some people will say, well, the Valkyrie Profile series came back. There was a game last year called Valkyrie Elysium, but that's its own thing, you know. It's not really a Valkyrie Profile game. It's like when the Shining Force series died, which is also featured in the video. The series died, and then Sega tried to revive it, but by rebooting it over and over and over again. Shining Soul didn't work. Shining Force, Neo and Exa didn't fucking work. Shining this and that didn't work. Shining Tears didn't work. Shining Resonance Refrain didn't work. Are people at Sega really that fucking stupid, man? But I digress. So the point is that There were a lot of series that back then I covered in that series, in that video series, that died back then, and then something happened afterwards, like a mobile game. And it was like, man, is this really a revival of the series? Like Ark the Lad released a mobile game a few years ago, Wild Arms, and it was like, man, nobody cares about this shit. Give us a proper title for fucking consoles, right? But most of the developers in the series, in those videos, haven't really come back. Some of them did. Grandia did with remasters, but that's it. So my point is that we all thought that the Mana series was kind of dead. They came back 3 years ago with a remaster of Trials of Mana, the remake, I mean, and it was like, okay, it's a remake. What about a brand new game? And there was a brand new game for fucking phones, like nobody gave a shit about. So I'm happy that finally Square Enix was like, okay, people want a console game, a main title, and a proper title, and that's what's gonna happen. Thank you very fucking much, Square Enix. But I haven't watched the trailers. I did not watch the Shame Awards. I do not give a rat's ass about that fucking politicized, political crap show that's a bunch of fucking hypocrites. And I don't give a shit, man, about the Game Awards. So obviously I didn't watch the trailer, but I'll watch it probably after the stream is over. Am I excited? Yes, I am. I'm not the biggest Mana fan. But yeah, I'm excited to see one of the many dead JRPG series make a proper comeback. Imagine a brand new Valkyrie profile, a brand new Grow Lancer, Shadow Hearts. Okay, well, Shadow Hearts were getting Penny Blood, you know, but no, like Suikoden, with the Suikoden, with the title, the name, right? So if Mana can make it, everybody else can make it. Come on, people, come on, developers. Bring back those dead series. Bring back Breath of Fire, Grandia, Wild Arms. Damn. Have you played Dragon Force on the Sega Saturn? Yes, I did. That was a long time ago, man, and it was at my friend's house. I remember I went to his house and he had a Sega Saturn, and we played a bunch of Sega Saturn RPGs, and we played Dragon Force, and I really liked it. And he was like grumpy about it, like, oh man, that game is so convoluted, so hard to understand, fuck it, you know, it's just not my type of game. And I was like, sure, yeah, convoluted. I was loving it. Great game, pretty influential. I'd say games like Suikoden, Langreaser, well no, Langreaser did it first, Ogre Battle did it first too, never mind. It is influential. It influenced some of the Spectral Souls games, Blazing Soul. I mean, the Generation of Chaos, I mean. You go and play the Generation of Chaos games on the PSP, and you'll notice the influence. But yeah, I'd say Dragon Force got some influence from games like Langreaser, Master of Monsters, and what else did I mention? Anyway, do I think we will see anything from Dragon Quest XII anytime soon? Probably, I think next year. I'm pretty sure next year we'll hear something about it. It needs to happen. I mean, we got Final Fantasy 16 this year, and then we'll get Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2 in January. So I'm pretty sure during the summer next year we'll hear something about Dragon Quest 12. And in what direction do you think 12 will take the series into? The same political Disney Netflix fucking bullshit Square Enix has started to take for the past few years. So I have no hopes and no anticipation for Dragon Quest XII at all, until I watch the trailer, until I make sure it's turn-based, and until I make sure it's not political. Have you watched the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer? No, I haven't. I don't give a shit about that series. We no longer need to ask what's playing. It's not really a playlist, it's just a video, the compilation music video that I did a few months ago called Amazing Tracks from Obscure RPGs. And there you go. I'm just playing the video. Anyway, yes, I'm excited for a Eiyuden Chronicle. Did you try the Tales of Arise DLC? Nope. I do not pay for DLCs, man. Would have loved to try it if it was free. Shining the Holy Ark, another turn-based RPG on the Sega Saturn. That was pretty good. It wasn't my type of game, my cup of tea, because it's a dungeon crawler in first person. And remember, Shining, before Final Fantasy was doing all of those experiments, the Shining series did it first. They tried to imitate with their series. They tried to imitate every single genre, every single RPG genre back then. Shining did it first. I know half the world is mad with Final Fantasy because all they do is imitate other successful series and games and genres. Shining did it first. And Shining the Holy Ark was pretty good. The art style is kind of dated, but I like it. I think it's good, But I never finished it because, I don't have a Sega Saturn and I'm not really into dungeon crawlers in first person. I was just talking about Vision of Mana. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a shit ton of questions about Vision of Mana. I'm not going to talk about it again. You missed it, man. Yeah, I'm excited. Thanks. Thank goodness the Mana series is being properly revived. Do you want to watch the Visions of Mana trailer on this Q&A stream? Nah. What Western RPG have you played? You mean like lately, or what Western RPGs have I played in my whole life? Do you plan to continue playing Valkyria Chronicles EX mission? What are you talking about? I finished it. There's only 2 missions. Well, there's 4. Okay, there's the 2 of them, and then I think you gotta beat the main game to unlock the other 2. And they aren't exactly missions; they're just challenges, and they're different. There's just no point. But the 2 EX missions of Valkyria Chronicles, I beat both live on Twitch. They're there. Soon to be uploaded on my second channel. I uploaded the part 1 of the You to Kill demo on my second channel. Anyway. Will you play the English patch of Fate Extra CCC? Probably if I have enough time. There's a couple of fan-translated RPGs that have been fan-translated recently over the past few years, like the Tales games, for example, and I haven't even touched them. Because I just get so busy, man. I have a huge backlog, like probably all of you. And I always gotta give priority to 1, the one that I want to play the most, and 2, the one that I need the most for this channel. Like right now I'm playing Octopath Traveler 2, I'm finishing it. I just beat my main character's route. I got her ending. I picked Throne, of course. Of course. And I loved it, and now I gotta beat all the other characters, right? So you could say that I'm nearing the end, okay? And afterwards, I'm also streaming. I streamed like a little indie 2D action RPG called Sword of the Vagrant, and it's pretty much heavily inspired by Odin Sphere and Muramasa and Dragon's Crown, pretty much inspired by the Vanillaware games, and I only played it for 1 hour. Got the first mission, the first couple of missions, beat the first boss, and I really liked it. Of course, it's strongly sexualized. It's a Vanillaware ripoff, and it's pretty good. I think it was made by a Chinese studio, but I need to look a little bit more into it to have the proper information. I haven't decided if I'm gonna keep playing that game live. I probably will. I'm still playing Tears of Avia. I know nobody gives a shit about that game because everybody's noticed that it's not great. It isn't bad, but it's not great. But I think most people noticed or feel like the game is kind of mediocre. And it is, I'm still liking it, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish it. I said it was gonna be a full playthrough, but at this point, I'm honestly not sure because it's starting to get kind of boring, right? So we'll see what happens. But Sword of the Vagrant, I'll probably stream it live, maybe a full playthrough. I haven't decided that yet. And I also bought another game for like dirt cheap, for like $4. Also paid $4 for Sword of the Vagrant. This is called the one that I bought recently. I haven't touched it. It's called Light Fairy Tale. Okay, yeah, nothing to do with the anime. Light Fairy Tale Episode 1. The Episode 2 is also like $4. This is digital only. I don't think it has a physical release. Sort of the Vagrant has a physical release. But my point is that I bought this game and I haven't played it, so... Going back to your question, Kiss, will I play the Fate Extra translation or the Tales of Destiny or Tales of Innocence on the PS Vita? Or yeah, I have a shit ton of games that I want to play in the backlog, but right now I gotta give preference to those games because I paid money for them, man. Have you played the Mother series, Earthbound, specifically Mother 3? No, I only play Earthbound on the Super Nintendo and I didn't quite like it. You know, not my type of game. And so I didn't play Mother 3. No, Sword of the Vagrant is good. I mean, you can't touch Odin's Sphere, man. Of course, it's not on the same level as Odin's Sphere. No, nothing is, man. Odin's Sphere is an untouchable masterpiece, and there's nothing remotely good as it. Except Muramasa by the same developers, or Dragon's Crown. The new Metaphor trailer looked better than the new P3 trailer. I haven't watched the new trailers. I noticed there was one for Persona 3, but I'm like, the game is out in like a month and a half. Yeah. I haven't decided if I'm gonna get Persona 3. It's too expensive, man. It's too expensive. It's like almost $100 here in Mexico, the pre-orders. And that's fucking crazy, man. As much as I love that game passionately, I'm not playing it, man. I'm not paying that. That's insane. And I'm pretty fucking sure Atlas is not gonna give me a review code. No way, right? So, chances are I'm not gonna play that game. I'm just gonna wait for the price to drop. And it will drop, because it's being released on PS4, PS5, Xbox, and that's it, right? I don't think it's gonna be on Switch. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's gonna be on different platforms. The price will eventually drop. Have you tried some of the retro handheld consoles like the Anbemic? I don't know what the hell that is. Anbemic? I don't know what that is, man. What about the Vagrant Story Remaster or Remake? Sure, I'm not really a fan of the game, but I thought it had like a mature story. I'm a fan of Yasumi Matsuno. That guy is an excellent story writer, and I'd love to try a remake of it, because the original, I can't get into it, and I'm not going back to it, never. So, yeah, definitely a remake. A remaster, I'm not so sure. A remake will be better. We both know neither is going to happen. Would you rate Tales of Arise as one of the best Tales games you ever played? No. It's really good. But it's not one of my 5 favorites? No. It's up there in the top 10. I think it's one of the 10 best, yes. But not one of the best 5. At least not to me personally. It's not one of my 5 favorites. Make a JRPG winter sale suggestions when it comes? Nah, I don't think so, man. Did you play Star Ocean Second Story or how did you like it? Yes, I did, and I made a review. You probably missed the review. Check it out if you have time. I reviewed it. Excited for Grand Blue Fantasy. Oh yeah, Relink next year. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Though I know for a fact it has like inclusive characters, but they've been there since 10 years ago when the original game came out for phones. Do you consider Breath of Fire 4 a dark game? It certainly has some dark themes to it, especially regarding the antagonist and the fact that you can play as this antagonist. But no, I wouldn't call it a dark game. Not really, no. The new Persona 3 Reload trailer revealed the demo of Theurgy attack between Hellel and Satan casting Armageddon. So that confirms that fusion spells won't be one-time use items. Okay. If you like action games like Odin's Sphere, you should try one that I'm playing, and it's currently dirt cheap on the PS5 store, on the PlayStation store. Pretty sure the PS4 version is just as cheap. It's called Sword of the Vagrant. It's an indie game. I think it's Chinese, and I'm loving it. It starts off kind of like meh, but then something dark happens and you're like, oh, fuck. Who's your favorite protagonist in a Tales game? Let's find out. Okay, most of them are pretty generic, right? So, never mind, I don't have to think about it. I'm gonna go with Velvet from Berseria. No one comes even close. Velvet is the best protagonist in the Tales series because she's so unique. There's no other protagonist like her. In fact, there's barely any JRPG protagonist like her. Not only in the Tales games, across every single JRPG in existence, seeing a protagonist like Velvet is like, wow, it's rare, it's pretty fucking rare. Velvet is by far my favorite Tales protagonist. And then I will choose someone like Yuri from Tales of Vesperia, because he's a little bit mature, older than your average Tales protagonist. And he behaves a little bit differently, has a different personality, also kind of an unusual protagonist. He's probably my second favorite. And I know he's an edgelord and has a sister complex, but I like Senel from Tales of Legendia. The guy grew on me, and I ended up becoming a fan. I like Senel Coolidge in Tales of Legendia. That will be my top 3, definitely, but yeah, Velvet is my number 1. There's no other protagonist like her. Alphen is a pretty interesting protagonist too, kinda on the mature side of things too, and he's not that power of friendship kind of guy, but at the same time he is. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, Alphen was cool in the beginning, but he fell off fast. Okay, I agree, he was cool at the beginning. I don't think he fell off fast, but more like he became a bit generic after a while. Like the classic Tales protagonist, right? But I still think he's an interesting protagonist. He's one of the most interesting protagonists in the Tales series. Anyway, thoughts about Sifu. Don't know what that is. Fans, okay, so Persona 3 Remake is trying to be more accessible like Persona 5 Royal. Okay. We'll see about that. I'll play it at some point. Okay, you were asking if you would like Odin Sphere, you like action games in general. Oh! Well, a lot of modern action games have RPG elements, so I'm pretty sure you will like some action games, especially the 2D action games. Yeah. In fact, I think games like Odin Sphere got me into 2D action games, whether they're RPGs or not, So, yeah, I think Odin Sphere is a great entry into action games. Just try out some more 2D action games first, before you jump into 3D action games. What JRPG you think is overly hated? You mean overly hated and it deserves it? Or overly hated and it doesn't deserve it? Because if it doesn't deserve it, I made a top 10 about that. It's called 10 JRPGs that don't deserve the hate. Check it out if you can. And then there are games that a lot of people hate, including me, okay? Like Final Fantasy X-2, for example. I think it's overly hated, but it has every reason to be hated. That's just my opinion, though. How would you rank Estelle, Lloyd, Rin, Kevin, and C? Like from worst to best? Dude, I'm an Estelle fanboy, so of course she's the best for me. But then the others, right? Okay, so Estelle is the number 1. Then Rin Schwarzer. C is just there for one game, and he doesn't really feel like a protagonist. But yeah, sure, why not? C, next. And then Kevin, and then Lloyd. Lloyd is an interesting protagonist, but he's also generic as fuck. And I don't know, man. To me, he's the classic JRPG protagonist trope. I like Lloyd, don't take me wrong, and he grew on me. But out of those protagonists, I think he's the worst. But he's still a good protagonist. Who are your 3 favorite what? Who are your 3 favorite female protagonists? Okay, so Velvet and Estelle, obviously, and Lynette Valkyrie. Just picked up Sword of a Vagrant. Nice, how much did you pay for it? I paid $5. No, I paid $4 on the PlayStation Store, US dollars. That's a steal, that's a really good game. Do you think Grand Kingdom battle system is hard to master? I don't think it's hard to master, but the game is a natural grind fest. Okay, I gave up on it because it just became way too grindy. I got to a point where I was like, man, spending 3, 4, 5 hours just grinding, and I couldn't take it anymore. I was like, man, I got tired of it. Very repetitive because of that. So, yeah, it's a really good game, Grand Kingdom, but I don't think the battle mechanics are hard to master. More like it's a grind fest. Do you ever feel guilty playing games instead of working out for self-development? Not really. This is what I do for a living, man. So I'll never feel guilty or bad for playing video games instead of working out. No, I don't think so. But then again, look at me. I don't really work out, but I'm thin, right? I'm not fat. Anyway, does Persona 3 really take 80 plus hours to complete? I don't know, man. I've never completed that game. I've finished the PS2 version, the original, and the FES version, but I didn't do everything and platinum the game and did every single side quest and 100%. No, I didn't do that. So you're asking the wrong guy. I remember my playthroughs were about 50 something hours long, 40 something, between 40 and 50 hours long. But I didn't, I didn't complete them in today's terms. Do you dislike the fact that some indie RPGs are overshadowed and there are some hidden gems from the past and present that are overshadowed by indie RPGs? That's weird. It's pretty rare to see an indie RPG overshadowing classics or hidden gems, Hidden gems are hidden gems for a reason, because not only were they overshadowed by the mainstream ones, but because a lot of people don't know them and because there was barely any marketing done by the companies. Okay? I don't know how to answer your question, man. I rarely see indie RPGs overshadowing other JRPGs. It's usually the other way around. Who is one JRPG character you absolutely just hate? Refer to my top 10 worst JRPG protagonists video. Magilu is one of the most interesting characters in any Tales game. Yeah, she is, and it takes a while for her to grow on you. At the beginning, she's kind of annoying and kind of forced. Her jokes feel kind of forced, but the more you play the game, the more she grows on you. Any thoughts on Tales of Exilia 1 and 2? I'm a huge fan of both games, and they are strongly recommended, and they are among my favorite Tales games ever made. Do you think Tales of games are too long in storytelling, 40 plus hours? Not really. They do have a lot of dialogue, almost at the Trails level, but not really. I think they're fine. One of the longest Tales games is Tales of Graces, by the way. It's a game with 3 different story arcs. You first play as the characters when they're kids, but that's only like 3, 4, 5 hours, I think, maybe less. And then it jumps to them when they're teenagers, and then when they are young adults. Yeah, so the game isn't that long, especially if you just focus on the main story. But I feel like it's one of the longest Tales games I've played. Definitely did over 40 hours when I beat it. And then there's Tales of Legendia. Tales of Legendia has a main story quest, which is like 20 something hours long, but then there's the character quest, and it's not really a post game. I mean, the story continues, and it's just as long, So combining both arcs of Tales of Legendia, you got also probably a 40-hour long game. And you might say, that's not that long. Well, consider the fact that Tales of Legendia came out almost 20 years ago. So we're talking about kind of early PlayStation 2 RPG. Back then, 40 hours, that was fucking long. Nowadays it's nothing, I know, but back then it was long. Okay, so Legendia is also one of the longest. Arise was kind of long. I think I did 40 hours actually, but 40 hours for today's standards is not that long, so it's not impressive. So honestly, Graces and Legendia are the two longest Tales games I've ever played. Excellent games, both of them. If you only have a short amount of time to play games, will you use cheat codes to avoid the grind? No, I don't think I've ever... Well, I've never used a cheat code in my life, except when I fucked up my file of Spectral Souls on the PSP. That was aeons ago. My PSP fell, and my memory... I was halfway through the game, and my file... my memory card broke, so the file went to shit. So I was like, man, I really want to finish the game, but I wasn't gonna do all the fucking grinding again. So I downloaded some kind of cheat code to where my characters were overpowered and overleveled, and I beat the game. But that's the only time I can think of when I used a cheat code. Usually I take advantage of easy modes. Okay, I play the games on normal, but if I'm gonna have to grind, I change the difficulty to easy or very easy to grind faster and get over level faster, and then I come back to normal and continue with the main story. That's not exactly a cheat code, and I don't think that's cheating, but that's what I do sometimes if the games have an easy mode. Octopath Traveler 2, for example, does not have an easy mode, so I've been grinding on the default difficulty, right? But it's not as grindy as the original game. Octopath 1 is far more grindy than its sequel. Yes, I haven't watched the Visions of Mana trailer. What direction do you reckon Square needs to take to come back from recent failed games? They need to get rid of the politicization first. They also need to get rid of the action RPG mentality. They need to fire Tetsuya Nomura and Yoshi P. And that's it. Everything else they've done has been okay, in my opinion, acceptable, maybe questionable, but not too harmful. But yeah, the direction they need to take to have my respect and a lot of people's respect nowadays is that. But you and I know it's not gonna happen. Which Trails arc is your favorite? Wow. I think it's a competition between Cold Steel and Sky. Crossbell is my least favorite, but I still fucking love it. So... oh man. I think I'm gonna go with Cold Steel because it expands into Reverie. So we got 5 games as opposed to 2, which are Crossbell, or 3, which are Sky. So Cold Steel, plus Cold Steel grabs characters from those other 2 arcs and brings them together in this one. So it's like the definitive arc, you know? So I'm gonna go with Cold Steel. Which OST do you like more, Suikoden 2 or Suikoden 5? Interesting question, considering I like Suikoden 5 as a game more than 2. But I think I like a little bit more the Suikoden 2 soundtrack. Miki Higashino, she's just a genius, man. Amazing composer, man. Yeah. Yeah, I love the Suikoden 5 soundtrack, but... yeah, I think I like the one in the second game a little bit more. Where will you rank the Atelier series? Like, what do you mean? How do you mean? Where do you mean? Like, from a scale of 1 to 10, for example? If so, well, there's a shit ton of games. Some of them are really good. Some of them are kind of forgettable and repetitive. There's a couple of them that are kinda bad, but not really. I have yet to play a single Atelier game that's like really bad, no. I think the worst that I played is Nelke, which is a crossover. And it wasn't bad, it was just like I couldn't get into it, right? But on a scale from 1 to 10, the series as a whole, well, you gotta consider the fact also that, in my personal opinion, there isn't a single Atelier game that is like a masterpiece, like, oh my god, S tier, like 10 out of 10? No. closest I've seen and played. My two favorites, for example, are Iris 2 on the PlayStation 2 and Shally on the PS3 and PS Vita and Switch and PS4 and Steam and everywhere. But there are no masterpieces, you know. They're not like, my god, it blew me the fuck away. No. So obviously I can't give the series a 10 out of 10. Obviously not. Not even a 9, because they have a lot of games that are kind of like the same game over and over again. All these trilogies, you know, you play them and it's like, man, they just recycle a lot of stuff, including character development, the same cliches, the same tropes. Most of the girls have the exact same personality. They're all a bunch of tomboys or shy girls or, yeah, right? So, I'd say if I were to rank the Atelier series as a whole, you know, on a scale from 1 to 10, I will probably give it an 8. And there's also a JRPG series tier list that I did last year. Massive tier list, 80 plus series ranked on that tier list. And I think I put the Atelier series on the B or on the A. Reluctantly on the A, but not on the S. There's a lot of great games on the Atelier series. Worst Final Fantasy summon? I'm not sure. There are some that are pretty lame. But I'm not really a fan of Final Fantasy anymore. Wait till you see Kuro. That's going to be a big competition to the other arcs. Maybe, yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a blast, but we'll see, right? We'll see. Do you like the Castlevania saga in general? Not really. I can't get into those games. They're too hard for me. I don't know. I wouldn't consider myself a fan. I like it. Like the anime, the first season. Haven't watched the second. Well, no. How many seasons are there? There's like a brand new arc nowadays released this year on Netflix, right? I haven't watched that one. It's probably politicized. I mean, the original was kind of like, what the hell is going on here, right? Like, okay, this character wasn't like this in the games. This character was changed, was altered to satisfy the Crystal Snowflake generation nowadays. So, but I still liked it. But I'm not gonna bother with this second arc. Yeah, Fire Emblem Echoes is a bit of a grind fest too. Most Fire Emblem games are. Well, the ones where you could grind, right? Still, I don't think Echoes is that grindy. And it's not that challenging. That's just my experience with it. I think it's one of the most balanced Fire Emblem games. I often recommend that game for beginners or for everybody. Either way, it's an excellent game, so you need to change your strategy. Maybe you're making the game harder than it needs to be. They're strategy RPGs after all. They're very subjective. How hard is a strategy RPG is very subjective, you know, because what can be hard for you can be easy for others. And I've seen some strategy RPGs that people claimed were stupidly hard and they were kind of easy for me, but also the other way around. So it's all about how you plan your strategies. That's why they're called strategy RPGs. They rely a little bit more on the strategy than on the difficulty or the skill. Triangle Strategy is a good game. It is an excellent game, and that's a masterpiece. That's a phenomenal game, man. Don't bother watching anything after Season 1, it went annoyingly woke. You mean the first arc, right? Because the first arc was based on Symphony of the Night and Dracula's Curse, which are basically Castlevania 3 and 5? Is Symphony of the Night 5? Or 6? I don't know. But yeah, it was mostly based on those two games, right? And it got like 2 seasons or 3 seasons. So, I'm lost here. A good strategy RPG for beginners is Persona 5 Tactica. Haven't played it. Have you played Ogre Battle 64? Yes, it's very good. It's a bit dated. Okay, the art style, the graphic style, the gameplay mechanics are a bit dated. I mean, we're talking about a game that's 25 years old, so it's a bit dated, but for its time, it was excellent. It's great. Well, I kind of disagree with that statement. I don't think triangle strategy is stupidly easy. But that's just my opinion. Trista, Leaves, or Erin? That's from Trails, right? The Trail series. You're asking, are those towns? Can you remind me what those are? Aren't those like schools? I don't know. Leaves, I think that's a school, right? From Cold Steel, right? Anyway, yeah. Refresh my memory. You know what's hard? Thracia 776. Oh yeah, that's objectively hard. That's, I mean... It's not a matter of opinion, or perspectives, or experience. No, that's objectively hard, because it is objectively broken. I agree. I don't get the hate at Square Enix. Besides Final Fantasy, almost everything else they do lately is really good. Octopath, Nier, Star Ocean, Ran a Remix, Live Alive remake. Yeah. Most of the hate comes from their business decisions, their political decisions, but most of them are connected to Final Fantasy. You're right. I've defended Square Enix in the past. There's a little video I did on my second channel saying that not everything is bad about Square Enix. They are supporting a lot of strategy RPGs. They're trying to revive the genre, and I love them for that. You know, not everything is bad with Square Enix. I resent the company for many things, but they've done a lot of great things too. So, yeah, it's a topic, man. That's a topic of its own, Square Enix. We can talk about the company all day. Ogre Battle 64 is a remake of Ogre Battle from SNES? No, different games, not related. In fact, Ogre Battle 64 wasn't even developed by the same guys. Developed by Quest, but the main guys like Yasumi Matsuno, which was the director and writer of the series, he left. He didn't do that game, so completely different game, man. Did you get to play Zoid's Legacy for the Game Boy Advance? Yes, I did, and mediocre game, man. It's just, it exists. It's there. I was like, I think I played for like 2 hours, and I was like, man, Trista was a university campus. It's the school towns. Okay, yeah, I thought so. Trista, Leaves, and Sky. Okay, so Trista is from Cold Steel 1 and 2. Leaves is from Cold Steel 3 and 4. Well, I guess Trista is more charming because it's where everything starts. And Leaves is when all of these new characters are introduced, and they felt kind of like meh at the beginning. They grow on you. I mean, Juna grew on me. So did Altina. But at the beginning, it was like they were fucking annoying, and I was like, man, I mean, these fucking characters are so cliche and tropey. And yeah, but they grow on me eventually because I saw them grow and get strong development throughout the rest of the games. But really, I mean, Trista is nostalgia. I mean, I like Trista a little bit more. Seventh Saga is hard. Seventh Saga is another game that is objectively hard because they fucked up the localization. They made it harder on purpose. Well, nobody knows if it was on purpose or not, but they fucked it up. It's 10 times harder than the original Super Famicom version. So yeah, that is another game that is objectively hard. But there's gotta be that one guy out there saying, I thought it was easy. Not really. Actually, that fucking piece of shit. Are you really from Mexico? Yes, yes, I am. Guadalajara. I'm not. My English is not impeccable. But thanks, man. Thank you for recommending Radiant Historia and Grow Lancer. Loving it. Oh, man. Welcome to the fan club of those games. Especially Grow Lancer. Welcome, man. A new fan. Welcome to the club. Those people at Falcom at least understand some civics. What? What, did I miss something? What are you talking about? What civics? Oh, a town that lives from giving service and products to students. Oh, okay. Yeah. That was funny. Yes, I've played Terra Enigma before. I didn't finish it. I thought it was great. It aged surprisingly well. Yeah, pretty good game. Square does not gen revenue in the big games. What? The latest season made it about black slavery. The show is just Castlevania in the name and that's about it. There wasn't any black slavery topics in the games? Your thoughts on the Summon Night games? Well, I've only played 4 of them. 5 actually. And in fact, as a matter of fact, we've only gotten those 5 games. We never got the first 4 games on the main series. We never got a few spin-offs. So the ones that I played are on the Game Boy Advance spin-offs called Swordcraft Story 1 and 2. They're pretty good, especially the first one. I really like the first one. Pretty short game, you can beat in like 12 hours. Extremely charming, fantastic soundtrack. And then there's Summon Night 5 on the PSP. Never finished it. For some reason I really liked it at first. But the more I played it, the more bored I became. I don't know why. I'll go back to it one day, maybe. It's still a good game. And then there's Summon Night 6 on the PS Vita and the PlayStation 4. I played the PlayStation 4 version. I thought it was pretty good. It took me a while to finish it because it's kind of long. And it's on the easy side of things. It's an easy game, except the final boss is fucking broken. But the rest of the game is stupidly easy. And I thought it was a great game. I really enjoyed it. No masterpiece, but great nonetheless. And then there's Twin Age on the Nintendo DS. It isn't bad. It's just forgettable and mediocre. So overall, my thoughts on the series based on those 5 games. I think it's a good series, but it's not really outstanding. I understand why it was never localized at the beginning, why the first games never came out of Japan. Yeah, it's good. I wish we could have gotten those games, but I don't think it's like, wow, one of the best strategy RPG series of all time. No, I don't think so. But it's good. It's got some good games in there. It's worth checking out, but it's not really an outstanding series. Favorite Shin Megami Tensei? That will be Devil Survivor. Why did you not name Olivier from Trails in the Sky 1 as the worst character in the series? He's disgusting and wants to have his way with Joshua. He's not... okay, you should finish the games, man, and then you should play Cold Steel. The guy is straight, and... well, no, he isn't. Well, they never tell you. He's probably like bisexual or something, I don't know. Olivier grows on me over time. I disliked him at first, okay? I agree with you there. In the first game, I was like, fuck this guy. But you gotta understand this. Without Olivier, Estelle isn't as great as she is, because most of her comedy and comebacks and dialogue, comes from getting back at Olivier and interacting with him, right? And that's so funny, how the guy says whatever and she immediately puts him in his place or shuts him up. I don't know, man. I really like that relationship, that comedy between Olivier and Estelle, right? I don't think he's one of the worst protagonists. He's very annoying in the first game, but slowly he grows on you. and then you came you find out who he really is, and then Cold Steel happens and Reverie, and that's all I'll say. He's not one of my favorite characters in the series, but I don't think he's bad. Do you agree that Final Fantasy 15, with all the material released as today, is one of the best stories in FFA, but it was sold like shit? Donsk, you've been a fan of this channel for a long time. You should know by now that I couldn't care less about that game. So why are you asking me that? Do you think it's only a matter of time before Shining Force gets revived, since Sega is reviving some of their older IPs like Golden Axe? Hopefully, let's keep our fingers crossed, because goddamn, that series needs a revival bad, like yesterday. Is Legaia too good? I didn't like it, but I didn't give the game a proper chance. I think I rage quit in a boss battle early in the game, and I got tired of it and I moved on to other games. I never gave Legaia 2 a proper chance, so I don't have a strong opinion about it, but my opinion based on those first hours of gameplay was pretty negative, but take that with a grain of salt. Have you ever played Lunar Nights on the Nintendo DS? Ooh yeah! That's a Hideo Kojima game, believe it or not. The same guy who created the Metal Gear series. And that's also a part of a series called Boktai. And it's an action RPG exclusive to the DS. Pretty different from the Boktai games. The Boktai games only had one protagonist, and they were kind of stealthy like in Metal Gear. This one was kind of different, two protagonists with personalities and shit. Pretty good game, man. That's one of the better hidden gems on the Nintendo DS. Exactly. That's pretty much Olivier Explained by Brian H. 1988. Read that comment. That's Olivier in a nutshell. Don't spoil the games, man. Hideo Kojima was also the creator of Snatcher on the Sega CD. Yep, that same guy. Yup. Have you played Signalis? An indie game which is like a mix between Silent Hill and Parasite Eve in a dystopian setting. I'd love to play that game. I saw Pete Dorr talking about it in one of his videos, and I don't remember him praising the game, but I've seen the game for often on Amazon for some reason. It gets recommended to me a lot, even though I know nothing about it. But I kind of knew it's kind of like a survival horror game with like 16-bit graphics, right? Like retro graphic style. So I'm interested. It looks interesting. I'd love to play it one day. Yeah, Signalis. So, what is the Erebonian humor? Well, that's a humor you're gonna have to find out if you play the games. Yeah, man, I hope the Shining Force series comes back. I think it's a heavily overlooked series nowadays. People knew it back in the day, but it just doesn't get as much love as it did back then. In fact, I dare say the series is kind of underrated, and it was extremely popular. But I think what happened with Shining Force is that it just got an unsurprising demise. It wasn't a surprise because the games were released. I mean, it's a Sega original IP. The games were released for Sega consoles, exclusive to Sega consoles during the first years. So we all know what happened with the Sega consoles, right? The Sega Saturn was a failure outside of Japan. The Sega CD was a failure worldwide, pretty much. So it's a series that honestly had no future, but if Sega had the power to revive it properly and bring it back once they made their deals with other companies, with Nintendo and Xbox and whatnot, they could have done something. But the problem is that the original creators left. Camelot Software Planning. Nintendo hired them to make Mario Golf and Mario Tennis games, and then Golden Sun. So they were like, man, okay, we're done with Shining Force. So maybe Sega thought, there's no one out there who can really make strategy RPGs as good as these guys did. But they should have tried, in my opinion. They still should have tried. There was no reason to create the abomination that was Shining Soul on the Game Boy Advance just as an attempt to reboot the series. That was a fucking insult, man. Damn. That's like that's what Square Enix did with Valkyrie. Valkyrie Elysium was an insult to Valkyrie Profile. Same way Shining Soul was 20 years ago for the Shining series. Like the big comeback of the Shining series, and it's fucking mediocre as fuck action RPG. That's boring and repetitive, and what the hell is this, right? No. And then they went on like that. And they did bring a strategy RPG back. It's called Shining Force Feather on the Nintendo DS. Only in Japan. That should have been localized, and people would have noticed that Shining Force made an attempt to come back to tactical combat. But yeah, really, if the rumors are true, I mean, Sega is bringing back all the IPs, reviving classics. Shining Force and Phantasy Star are like two of the biggest fucking classics they need to revive. Remasters, remakes, whatever, whatever. Please bring it back, but bring it back in its purity. Don't change it to freaking action AAA games, no. Just bring strategy RPGs back and bring Phantasy Star turn-based again back. Even if it's just remasters. I mean, Phantasy Star did get a shit ton of remasters back then. It got some remasters on the Sega Saturn and on the PlayStation 2. We never got those versions. We got on the Game Boy Advance version. We got that one, but only the first three. So yeah, I mean, those two series are extremely iconic for Sega. So if they're bringing back things like Golden Axe, you bet your ass I like to believe and hope that they're gonna bring back Shining Force and Phantasy Star. I mean, we need them, man. We need them. Sega Saturn was a hit in Japan. Yeah, we all know that, but it was a failure everywhere else. I don't know how I stay fit, probably because I do work out every now and then. And also because my dad, it's in the genes. It's generic. It's genetic that I'm fit for now. My brother is even fitter than me. He's thinner than me. Slimmer. Yeah, I think it's because we inherited our dad and his family. All that inheritance, they're all thin. They're all fit. Anyway, I start to notice Atlus is starting to hire mediocre bad voice actors for their games. Persona 3 Reload's English voice actors sound worse than the original. What? What did you say? Wait a fucking minute. They changed the actors for the remake? I thought for sure the same actors will be back. Are you telling me Liam O'Brien is not gonna be Akihiko? Are you telling me Michelle Ruff is not gonna play Yukari? You telling me Tara fucking Platt is not gonna voice Mitsuru? Karen Strassman is not gonna be Aigis? I didn't know this, man. They changed the English actors? Oh no. Fuck. You just broke my fucking heart, man. I really liked the original cast in that game. And they changed it? Oh my god. No. No, man. Fuck. What sad news. I didn't know that. Fuck. Wow. My expectations just dropped. I am no longer anticipating that remake. I am still anticipating it, but not that much anymore. Man, that's sad. Different voice actors, I mean... Damn. So who's playing who now? The main English voice cast from previous games has been entirely recast for Reload, including the protagonist. So it's not gonna be Yuri Lowenthal. So the protagonist is now Alex Lee, whoever the fuck that is, Allegra Clark, Mitsuru, Heather Gonzalez Yukari, Zeno Robinson, Junpei, Dawn Bennett as Aegis, Alejandro Sab for Akihiko. Alejandro Sab, I think I know who that is. He's not bad. Susie Young, Fuka Yamagishi, oh man. Well, at least Patrick Seitz is there. Fuck me. What about an option to retain the original voice cast? Are they gonna let us like choose the original cast? They kind of did something similar with Star Ocean, the second story. Not in English though, in Japanese. You could choose between the original Japanese voice actors and the new ones. Alright, so maybe they'll do the same. Oh man. Watch the recent trailer for Reload, it sounds bad. Thank you, Siondari. You're right, better to find out like this than while playing the game. Oh man. Okay. More inclusive cast? I don't know about that. Localization teams are trashed these days. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I knew that the answer, the Aegis story is not there. Okay, well, whatever. You know, I'm not gonna get a review code, and I'm not gonna pay $100 for the game, because that's how much it's gonna cost here in Mexico. So, fuck it. Fuck it, man. The original English voice acting in Star Ocean, the second story, is not great. The original game, right? Sounds like they just picked a random group of YouTubers. Oh man. In the original game is pretty bad, yeah, but it's bare bones in there. But I like the one in the remake, which is the same one as in the remaster on the PSP version. So, Claude, I forget the name of the guy, Spike something. Spike Spencer, I think that's the name of the actor who voiced Claude in the remake. I don't know, man. He did a great job, but I wasn't the biggest fan of his voice. Because, you know, I grew up playing the second story and Claude saying, "Tear it to pieces!" Right? And then this actor starts voicing Cloud like that. But yeah, the rest of the cast was phenomenal, was great. Well, okay, not phenomenal. No. Leon's voice actor sucked balls, man. Leon, the little scientist kid. The voice actor, horrendous actor, man. But the rest was fine. Rena was pretty good. But others were kind of like, they didn't do their best. I didn't think it was stellar, but I thought it was decent, at least. Rena was pretty good. Junpei's and the MC's voice are both YouTubers? Why am I not surprised? I'll watch the trailer and see if it's as bad as you guys say. Yeah, but now, I mean, come on. Tara Platt, she's one of my favorite voice actors, man. She's not gonna voice Mitsuru. I mean, that's fucking horseshit. Thank you, Nemo Propaganda. I just found out about the missable true ending for Star Ocean R. Man, that pissed me off. What are your thoughts on that kind of thing? I've made rants before on true ending bullshit. There's a big rant on my main channel. Go watch it if you haven't. I hate true endings. It's just garbage, especially when they require you to do something extra or something that you obviously can't figure out for yourself unless you read a fucking guide. I don't like that true endings, man. I didn't know there was a true ending for the remake. Was that true ending in the original versions, or is this true ending exclusive on the remake? Oh, Tara Platt voices Elizabeth. Elizabeth was voiced by Silmeria, by Stephanie Sheh, also known as Jennifer Sekiguchi. And now Tara Platt, Mitsuru is Elizabeth. I mean, that's just fucking ridiculous. Atlus, man, I'm telling you. They're heading into a really stupid direction. I want to know what are the JRPGs with remakes that the original version of them is better than the remake? Final Fantasy VII. Although, I'll give you something. I'll admit that Final Fantasy VII, the original PS1 version, didn't age very well. It just didn't. Random encounters, pre-rendered backgrounds, slightly ugly polygons. Yeah, okay, but I still prefer the original game over the fucking remake. The remake is an action RPG that feels more like its own game, and they were just trying to impress with the graphics and Tifa fan service, who was also censored, by the way. I mean, she was fucking censored. What's the point of having a character as fan service if you're gonna censor that character? It defeats the purpose. And then the Nomura bullshit in there, all the spirits and the ghosts doing whatever and changing things, and I mean, it's just, man, no. So Final Fantasy VII is the perfect example. The original version is far better than the remake. Lufia 2 got a similar treatment. He got a remake on the Nintendo DS, and it was an action RPG now, kind of like the East games. And it's fine, it's good, you know, but it's, I mean, what the fuck? I mean, why do you remake your game like that? It's horseshit. And it was different, the dialogue was different, the protagonist was now fucking stupid, changed their personalities. I mean, yeah. It's even worse than Final Fantasy VII Remake. And Final Fantasy VII Remake is still a good game. I liked it, I finished it, but Lufia, the remake of Lufia 2 on the DS, I was like, man, no, what the fuck is this? So the original is much better than the remake. What else? Oh, there's gotta be more. Maybe next year I'll say the same thing about Persona 3. Anyway, there's gotta be another one. Let me think of a third one. Well, the original is better than the remake. Come on, guys, there's gotta be another one. Well, I don't want to be too harsh on Secret of Mana, but the remake of Secret of Mana got a lot of trash. I never finished the remake. Hell, I never finished the original version. But I thought the remake was fine. I liked what I played, but I guess the original is better than the remake. Right? Yeah. So that's the third game to make it a top 3. Oh, here's another one. Metal Maxino. Yeah, nobody knows that fucking game, I know, but Metal Maxino was great on the PlayStation 4. And it came out like 5 years ago. It did not need a remake so soon. And the remake was pretty fucking bad. Not terrible, but bad, man, bad. Yeah, that's another one. The original is better, definitely. There's gotta be more. The PSP Secret of Mana was not great. What? What? Secret of Mana is not on the PSP. Don't you mean the PS Vita version? Anyway, have you yet done a video about the best 2D RPGs out there? No, I've always wanted to, but I think, you know, for a fact, Vanillaware is gonna top the list, so... yeah. But you probably mean like modern 2D RPGs, right? Because if we're gonna do a video strictly about 2D RPGs, well, I mean, Chrono Trigger is gonna be there, Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy IV, Super Mario RPG, those games are in 2D. Yeah, you probably mean like modern 2D RPGs. Probably. No, I don't think I'll ever make that video, although I have considered it, and it will be interesting to do. Final Fantasy IV original better than the remake? Unfortunately, I barely touched the remake on the Nintendo DS, so I don't have an opinion, but there you go. Did you play The Last Story or Pandora's Tower? Yes, I own both of them physical. Last Story is excellent, and it blew me away. I fucking love that game. Pandora's Tower was supposed to be great, and I really wanted to love it, but I couldn't stand the motion controls. Doing the boss fights, and the boss fights they have a lot of HP. Every single one of those motherfuckers has a lot of HP, man. So imagine being there like an idiot over and over again with the motion control. I mean, it was tiresome to say the least. But yeah, I like the games. I think Pandora's Tower is a great game if you like the motion control stuff. And The Last Story doesn't need it. The Last Story has automatic controls, auto battle controls set as default at the beginning. You want to change that. You want to change them to manual, and it just turns into a hack and slash game, which is much better, right? So The Last Story is greatly recommended. Pandora's Tower 2, but with a warning, with that warning, right? I can't wait for East 10 to be localized. I'm the same way, yeah. Hopefully we'll get it next year, hopefully. We're getting Trails Through Daybreak first. And it's been 3 years since that game came out. We're getting a game that's 3 years old. Who knows how long we're gonna have to wait for East 10. Well, the East series are more popular than the Trails series here in the West. So I think East America is not gonna waste a lot of time with other projects. I have a good feeling we'll get East 10 next year. But that's just, I mean, yeah. We don't know anything for sure. What? Final Fantasy VII Remake, it's so good of a game, you don't want to play it again. That's awesome, that's clever. What do you think of the Visions of Mana trailer? I haven't watched it, but I'm excited for the series to come back, finally, after so many fucking years. Did you play Trails into Reverie in English or Japanese? English. I thought The Last Story was great, it needs a remastered modern port. Yeah, it can't stay as a Wii exclusive. I mean, come on, it needs to come back. It definitely needs some kind of whatever for modern systems. We got 4 Falcom games this year, though. Ooh, okay, we got Trails to Azure, the remaster, Trails into Reverie, and Nayuta. What else? What else did we get? That's it, as far as I'm concerned. What's my favorite Xeno game? I can't... Zero, we got it last year, dude. Haha. Zero was released last year. Yeah, it was last year. We only got 3 Falcom RPGs this year. 3 Trails games. And with my favorite Xeno game, oof, man, nah, I'm not sure. Either Xenogears or Xenosaga 3 or Xenoblade Chronicles 3. One of those 3. Yeah, I can't decide. I can't decide, man. Trails Through Daybreak is not going to be released on March. I remember them saying it was going to be released during the summer. During the summer next year, not March. Where did you hear that? Well, did they change their minds? Did they... What's the antonym of delay in English? Like, did they do the opposite? What's the opposite of delay? Did they do that with daybreak? Huh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said it was going to be released during the summer. Definitely not on March. Rush? So it was rushed? Haste? Did they haste it? Favorite Chrono game? What kind of question is that, man? Cross, obviously. March is release date according to GameStop when I made a pre-order, but it seems the date got moved up. I'm pretty sure they said it was going to be released during the summer. Xenogears with Octopath graphics. Yeah, man, that's... I'm drooling too. That's, man, yeah. HD 2D for Xenogears, yeah. Haven't watched the trailer of Vision of Mana. Your newest video about what happened to this JRPG series. I need 3 days to finish this. Brutally long. Yeah, that was the whole point. To make some kind of impression. I was gonna do the compilation separately, but I was like, nah, all of them at once. 4 hours long, baby. Check it out. It's in this channel, people. Massive, the biggest compilation I've done in my life. All episodes in one video. That was the whole point. I didn't do it separately because I knew only part 1 would get a lot of views, and the other ones probably wouldn't. So I was like, nah, I don't want that to happen. So all episodes in one video. And in fact, you're not gonna believe what happened with that video. I didn't upload that video a couple of days ago. I premiered it and made it public 2 days ago. But in reality, I uploaded that video 2 weeks ago. It's just that I got a fucking copyright claim for a Chrono Cross song. And I've used that very same song multiple times in the past. Nothing happened. But for this particular compilation, and considering the Chrono series was the last episode of the video, fuck you, Erick, Landon RPG. Copyright claim. For using the overworld map theme. The Another World. Seashore, whatever. Copyright claim, and I asked them to remove it. I was like, I'm not really using the song to make money. Okay, I'm using it as background to talk about the game, to provide an example of how amazing the soundtrack is. And I didn't hear back until a few days ago. When they finally removed it. They listened. Wow, usually these companies are like, they give you the middle finger and fuck you, man. I am not removing the claim. Go to hell. And therefore what you need to do is delete the video, remove the song, edit the video, render it again, and upload it again. Yeah, that's what you usually need to do. And I didn't want to do that because I don't have the original format on my editing software of that video. I have the video, but I couldn't take out the song. I was like, man, I can't do this. And I'm not gonna leave that episode out. It's the Chrono series. It was the last episode. It's iconic. I covered Chrono Cross. I saved the best one for last, right? I wasn't gonna remove the video. So I waited patiently to see if they would remove it. And they did! My argument was valid. Yeah! Thank you, whoever... What's the name of the company? I don't even remember. But yeah. Man, they removed it. So go check out that huge compilation. Every single episode in one video, baby. On this channel. Anyway, anything like Ys Origins? Yeah, you can play some of the other Ys games. Play Napishtim on the PSP, PC, and PS2. Play the Ode in Felghana, which is on PSP, also on Steam, And there was a Switch remaster that I think we didn't get. I don't know why. Nowadays we get everything from Falcom, everything. But we did not get that remaster. And it came out this year. But yeah, those two are like similar in terms of gameplay mechanics, like the chibi characters fighting really fast. If you like the East Origin, play those two. I'm glad that the Mana series is back. That's funny. Truth is that they know you use that song, so they already spent 4 hours of their lifetime to watch your video from beginning to end. No, it's automatic. I wish it was like that. It's not, it's automatic. They have bots to do that, and the bots detect the songs. This website is pretty much 80% controlled by artificial intelligences. Believe it or not, robots control YouTube, most of it. Come on, do you really believe some guy is just gonna watch 4 hours of in a row just to get that copyright claim? No, that doesn't happen. And it's not like the video took 4 hours to upload. It took far less to upload. Favorite dragon game? What? You're gonna have to be more specific than that. On what system can I play the first Grandia game? You can play it on the Nintendo Switch, you can play it on your computer, on Steam, or you can play it on the PlayStation 1. There's also a Sega Saturn version of it, but I'm not sure if it's fan translated. And why would you bother with it? Unless you knew Japanese and unless you have a Sega Saturn. Yeah, I'd say stick to the PS1 version or the Switch version or Steam. Have you heard of Visual Kei? No. No, I haven't. The playlist is still continuing. There you go. That was a great idea, right? I'm gonna make more compilations like this just to use in my streams. I hope you guys join up. Now that I have 100 people watching, I hope you guys join up next Sunday. We're gonna do a video together. Oh yeah! We're gonna do a video. Remember we did one on the most underrated JRPG on every console? We also did one on the most, what was it? Like, the best story on every... the best JRPG story on every console. We did those two this year, several months ago. And I uploaded those videos on my main channel, edited with gameplay footage and stuff. So, next Sunday, we're going to do another video together. It's a surprise. This is hot. This is one that's gonna get a lot of people participating. So I'm gonna say it's a surprise. I'm not gonna say what kind of video, but it's a big one. It's a big one. Oh yeah. Be there next Sunday, everybody. Next Sunday, we're gonna do a video together. Anyway, do you like Folklore on the PlayStation 3? Yes, I do, and I have it I have it physical. It's a great game. Except I didn't like the fact that, okay, you got two characters as the main characters, and the game forces you to finish the game with both. You can't just complete one character, and then if you want to, complete the other one. You do not have access to the final boss unless you do both. Hexy's Force on the PSP did the same, and I didn't mind that. But Folklore is a great JRPG, but Hexy's Force is much better. So I didn't mind that in Hexy's Force because I loved it. But Folklore is a bit of a chore. Some of the bosses are a pain in the ass, and some of the stages are a little bit of a pain in the ass too to complete. And don't take me wrong, it's a great game, but I didn't like that. I was like, man, why are you forcing me to complete both characters? I just want to beat the girl's route, and that's it. But yeah, it's a great game, pretty unique, one of the most unique JRPGs ever made. Really liked it. The atmosphere, the ambience of it. It's a great game, man. Funny you asking that, Kiss. Have you played Hentai vs. Evil? Yes, a couple of days ago when I was browsing through the PlayStation Store and I saw Sword of the Vagrant and I bought it, and I saw this other one, Light Fairy Tale, and I bought it. I saw that game and I was like, what the fuck is this? And apparently it's a third-person shooter, obviously with sexualized girls, and it doesn't look bad. It looked kind of fun, actually. I'm not really into third-person shooters, but yeah, I think it was like $4 or probably more, $5, I don't remember. But yeah, I watched the trailer, and yeah, I mean, I was like, man, what the fuck? What the fuck is this, right? But it's great. I liked it. So, I'm not gonna get it. I don't know, man. I'm not sure if I want to pay $4 for a game like that. I'm gonna wait till the price drops. But, have you played it? And if so, is it any good? Is it worth the $4? Because the girls they look kind of young, and the graphics aren't that great. I mean, they aren't like Mirror. Remember Mirror 2? Wow, I mean, those graphics and that fan service. Holy shit. But the fan service in Hentai vs. Evil was kind of like the graphic style. I mean, the fan service is great, but the graphic style was like kind of like a little bit low budget. So I'm not sure. So have you played it, Kiss? Is it good? Do you recommend it? Wokest RPGs of all time. That's a great one. Wokest RPGs of all time. Oh my god. Let's see. I don't know. How about the original Persona? The guys changed a white character to black for no reason. How about Persona 5 Royal that censored a scene because it was offensive? How about Dragon Quest 11 has a super ultra gay character there. But he's Silvando, right? Yeah, I mean, come on. It's hard to hate on Silvando. He's a great character. And he's funny. What? Cry Machina? Those are like lesbian games. They aren't woke. There's no political message in there. There's like, here's my lesbian game and that's it. Right? Gay games have been there since forever, man. Since the freaking 80s. Right? So you got a bunch of games like that, like Cry Machina and Knights of Azure. What else? So those don't count. Final Fantasy 16, obviously one of the best examples of wokeness in there. What else? Well, yeah, I mean, it wasn't like Baldur's Gate 3 woke, but I didn't play that game, so no comment. Come on, man. Wokest RPGs ever. Oh, man. I don't know. Fairy Fencer 2. Definitely Fairy Fencer. What was the subtitle? I forgot already. Fairy Fencer F Refrain Chord. Okay, I have a special edition of that game. Because they sent it to me. Fairy Fencer 2. Yeah, definitely woke. What else? Final Fantasy 7. Barret is black. A badass character, and that's a game from the mid-90s. Not really, so no. Yeah. Barret is one of my favorite black characters in JRPGs. I love that guy. His personality, he's fucking edgelord. Man, he's so grumpy. I love Barret. But no, not really. Hey, the Trail series, there's what's this girl's name? But that's also funny. It's not really woke. It's just the funny lesbian character. What's her name? She has short purple hair, and she's always trying to hit on any girl. She's a great unit in combat. She fights with her fists. What's her name? Ah, fuck. It's, Come on, Angelica! There! Great character. I love her. I fucking love her, man. But not really, that's not woke. Olivier is just joking, man. Most racist RPGs? I have no idea. Hey, come on, Keith. Don't play dumb. You didn't answer my question. What were you thinking? Like, hey, I'm not the one doing a Q&A live, motherfucker. I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to ask questions, right? Yeah, I get it, Kiss. No, I didn't play Poison Control. Haven't played it yet. It looked interesting and I wanted to play it, but I never saw it for sale. It was always like $40, $50, and I was like, fuck, no, I'm not gonna play that much for this, no. So no. How much is it nowadays? You made me check, man. How much is it nowadays? Poison Control. It's on PS4, right? $60? No fucking way. Poison Control went down to the most 20. No, it did not. I just saw it, well, maybe in the US, but here in Mexico, both versions are 60 something dollars, $70. It's more than a brand new game. I paid less for Super Mario RPG. What the hell, man? Angelica, yeah. Where are you from, Yum Yum? Where are you from? I got a game. You remember you sent a donation last Sunday specifically for me to buy a PlayStation 5 game? I bought one. But it's one of those that it's being sold by an independent guy. Amazon itself is not selling this game, so it's gonna take it's supposed to arrive next week. Somewhere around next week. And it's a bit of a special edition. It comes with an art book and soundtracks, and yeah, I'm pretty excited, man. Thanks for the donation, by the way. I played a little bit of Hentai vs. Evil. Good fun. Okay, so it's worth the $4, right? Well, what I'm trying to say is that the girls don't look as hot as the ones in Mirror 2 or the Trails series or Final Fantasy or anything, games like that. But maybe, right? But I don't know, man. I feel like I'm just gonna play it for the fan service. I'm gonna buy it, and like 2 hours later, I'm gonna ditch it because I'm not really a fan of third-person shooters. It will need to have like Nier Automata level of fan service to keep me immersed, like Valkyrie Drive type of fan service. But I don't know, for $4, maybe I can stream it on Twitch. Hopefully it's not on the blacklist. There's a blacklist on Twitch. Prohibited games you can't stream. You can't stream Criminal Girls on Twitch. You can't stream Valkyrie Drive on Twitch, and several others. Some of those Sakura Succubus games on Switch, you can't stream them on Twitch. I don't know how I got away with Mirror 2. It's extremely sexualized, but I did. You can't stream Dead or Alive Extreme. So I don't know if I can stream Hentai vs. Evil. I'm trying to say that I don't have a way to justify my purchase. One hilarious complaint I always hear about Trails: characters never die. You sure about that? Have you played any classic RPG Maker horror games like IB or The Witch's House? No, I played a few of them. I played Sakura High, and I was playing a Resident Evil 4. Yeah. And there was one that I only played the beginning because it wasn't complete, but I forget the name. But yeah, I played some of them, yeah. They've been fun so far. What are your 3 favorite Atelier games? I answered that question about an hour ago. Iris 2, Shally, and Risa. Yeah, let's go with... No, I'd like to pick Iris 1. Yeah, Shally and Iris 1 and 2. Eternal Mana and Assault of Destiny. But nobody's gonna say anything about the current song. It's one of those that start off kind of like metal, hardcore, and then it goes J-pop idol. Anyway, top 10 best fan service games video coming soon. No, I remember 3 years ago I shot a video with my buddy Lou, and it was supposed to be a top 10 compile hard JRPGs, but I never did it. I just figured, there's not gonna be a lot of interest, so fuck it, so no. Plus, this is YouTube, okay? Wrong website. I do that video, they're gonna destroy it, demonetize it, put an age restriction to it, and the entire world is going to forget about it. So there's no point in making that video, even if I wanted to. Our Tonelico is a dead saga? Okay, I don't know. I think it just ended. They made 3 games, that's it, and then they decided to make a prequel, and they did, and that's it. I'm not sure if it was supposed to be... Okay, so when I was doing the What the Hell Happened to videos, I want to do that video, What the Hell Happened to Our Tonelico, but I barely found any research, and something led me to an interview of developers saying that that's it. I mean, it wasn't supposed to become a series. It was just a trilogy, it ended, and that's it, right? So I didn't do the video. So I'm not sure if you could say that it's dead, or that it just simply ended, and that's it. But they could definitely do more, right? That's your point. Maybe. Thank you, Mad Radio. He says, thank you for your better than I expected video and mentioning Tactics Ogre Remaster. Yeah, man, finally became a fan of that motherfucker. Forgot about it as I played original on PSP. We'll get it for PS4. Definitely get it for PS4, although not much changed from the PSP version. There's still a level cap, and still just as brutal. But yeah, great game. Definitely surpassed my expectations. How's part 4? I haven't done a playlist. There's gotta be a playlist with all 4 videos. I'm gonna do it tonight. That was number 4. Hoping to do a number 5 next year. Which JRPG you think has the most amount of character death? That answering will be a spoiler, so yeah. Can't stream Dead or Alive Extreme on Twitch, but you can stream Conan Exiles, which has full frontal nudity. Twitch probably doesn't know about the existence of that game, and I know which game you mean. Yeah, you can see the girls completely naked. You can. I don't know if you can stream Tormented Souls. Tormented Souls at the beginning of the game, during the first 5 minutes of the game, there's full frontal nudity, and my God, that's a greatly looking girl. Damn, she looks gorgeous, man. In the tub. But yeah, she's there. You can see her breasts, no problem. And I think you can stream it. You can also stream Dante's Inferno, which also has nudity. And some of the God of War games, if I'm not mistaken, they have nudity. They don't give a shit. But Criminal Girls, Valkyrie Drive, no. Dead or Alive Extreme, no. Twitch. A friend of mine gave you Soul Hackers 2. Is it worth the time? Yes, it is, man. Don't listen to people, man. Don't listen to me. You got the game. Play it. Decide for yourself. I really liked it, but you're gonna have to make that decision on your own. Just play the game, make your own decision. Don't get biased. Just have your own opinion. That's what I always tell people. I like recommending games and saying this is a masterpiece, you should play it, blah blah blah, but in the end it's your choice. Yeah, don't let anybody choose for you. Just play the game by yourself and you decide if it's good or not. But I liked it, and I do recommend it. What is your favorite PS2 JRPG game? That will be Valkyrie Profile 2 Silmeria. Masterpiece, I love it. They didn't even localize the shield no search for an English audiences. They probably didn't because it was a visual novel, and when that game came out, nobody gave a damn about visual novels, and they were just starting. But yeah, it makes you wonder. I mean, there's a shit ton of visual novels that no one cares about on the PS Vita, and we got them, but not that game? Really weird decision, right? But yeah, I think the game would have failed miserably. So maybe it wasn't such a bad idea to keep it in Japan. But then we got Arno Surge, and we couldn't understand certain things about Arno Surge because it is a direct sequel to the visual novel. So that was a controversy right there. And then both games got a remaster on the Switch. Only in Japan! Maybe I should do that video after all. What the hell happened? What games on each system have the most nudity? I don't know, man. Well, you got a lot of men of culture in the chat right now. I'm pretty sure someone can reply that. Answer that. Female nudity, of course. Well, you want to see Goku taking his shirt off every fucking time? Dragon Ball Z, man. Good old times. It was like, I'm gonna get serious now, so I'm gonna remove my shirt. That's gonna make me more powerful. That Dragon Ball Z logic right there. Every time we talk about visual novels, the House of Fata Morgana, someone mentions it. I haven't played it. Soul Hackers 2 right now is stupidly cheap. I got my PS5 copy for less than $20, sealed. Yeah, that's true. Soul Hackers 2 is an Atlus game. In a few years, it's probably gonna be a bit expensive. Get it now. PS4, PS5, whatever, Xbox One too. It's usually $20, $25. Yeah. And my PS5 copy came with a few cards. It's not a special edition or anything. It just came with some cards that are really cool, I guess. It's dumb. It's a trinket, but I liked it. Yeah. Give me one moment. Don't you hate it when an average nobody hot girl with a strange number from somewhere around this world reaches out on WhatsApp and says hi? Come on. Do they? Well, I guess a lot of people do fall for that. Damn. Anyway. Block those fake accounts. They're spam and they want to rob you and get into your phone and your everything and steal your identity. I don't know. Some PS5 JRPG games are you planning to buy? Yeah, I've been eyeing some of them. They just haven't gone down in price. Hopefully they will for Christmas or January at least. Looking for some of them. Right now on my most wanted list are games like Tormented Souls, which is not a JRPG. Yuru-Kill is up there too. It's not a JRPG. Well, I want to buy this game called Mato Anomalies. It's a Chinese RPG. I've heard some bad things about it, so I'm waiting for the price to drop so I can play it and decide for myself, right? And what else is there? JRPGs that I want on PS5. It's just I have some of them on PS4 already. I don't need them on the PlayStation 5. Like I need them... Okay, well, I have a digital version of Star Ocean: The Second Story R. So naturally, I want to collect the PS5 version, because that's the version that I played. So I want that, but right now it's fucking expensive. There's no point in getting it. If I already own it digital and I can play it anytime, I'm gonna wait for the price to drop. But that's one. I want Trails into Reverie. Definitely want that too. complete my Trails collection. I'm missing Trails to Asher. I'm missing some of them, but Falcom games are usually stupid expensive, no matter the console. It's gonna be a while. Matto Anomalies was $15 on Amazon on Switch. If I asked you where you live, man, because it wasn't $15 on Amazon Mexico. It was like $25, and I was like, nah, I'm not paying that much. I'm paying $20. Yeah. I also want Underknots. Sure, it's a dungeon crawler in first person, but it's a horror RPG, mature, and I want that, so I want to get it no matter what, even if I don't end up finishing it. Oh, so you live in California? Oh, come on, man. The US gets better deals than Mexico. Everybody knows that. Anyway, those are some PS5 JRPGs that I'm planning to buy. Do you think controversy helps a game get more spotlight sales? Depends on the controversy. Not only in video games, in the entire public industry. If you're a politician, if you're an actor, if you're a singer, if you're an artist, if you are a YouTuber, if you're whoever, some controversies might help you get more spotlight. Some controversies might ruin your career. So it depends on the type of controversy. It's a double-edged... Controversies are a double-edged sword, right? I mean, you saw what happened to me, didn't you? How do you feel about Genshin Impact? I'm not really interested in free-to-play games nowadays. Never been, actually. I think I was when I played Fire Emblem Heroes on my phone and got addicted to it, but eventually it just felt hollow, boring, repetitive, and not like a true video game. So I gave up. Not really a fan of free-to-play games. They feel incomplete. I feel like they're giving me an incomplete game, and they want me to pay money over and over and over again for it to be completed. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's my take on free-to-play games. It's like they don't give you the full game to make you pay money, and that doesn't sit well with me. I don't care about free-to-play games. Well, good for you guys. Thank goodness. That's awesome that you're getting a lot of sales, a lot of games for sale. Those games are not for sale in Mexico. Are you deaf? Good for you. You just got Underknots on PS5. Okay, hopefully you'll enjoy it. I think you might like Genshin Impact. I vouch for it story-wise. Like I said, I'm not interested, man. Not interested in that other game, Honkai Rail Stars or whatever, I know you can play them for free, but it's just... No. How much did the PS5 cost you in Mexico? Oh, a fan paid for it. I don't know if that fan is watching. Alex Tokash. No, I'm not gonna make a review of Final Fantasy 16. Never. I think Starfield would have not sold a single copy without the pronoun disaster. Yeah, there we go. Hey, Ashura. I am okay. Thanks a bunch for asking. Full or half? What? They're probably on sale from time to time. PS Store rotates offers every week. Just fill a wish list and check the prices regularly. Yeah, but I want them physical. I want my games physical. Digital games, I only pay for them when they're like $5, $6, $4. That's it, right? With physical games, I want them to go on sale physical. Who ships worldwide? Are you planning to play the Rans series at some point? I don't even know what that is. Rans? Okay, never heard of that. Is that one of the many only in Japan series? Video Games Plus. Oh, I've seen that website, but I don't think they ship to Mexico. Oh wait, give me 1 minute. I think I checked that website earlier this year, and there was a problem. I think they do ship to Mexico, but the shipping costs are expensive, like ridiculous. Kind of like PlayAsia. That's why I very, very rarely buy things from PlayAsia. It's like, oh, the game is $30. How much is the shipping? $20. So I'm paying $50 for a game. So yeah, I don't know about Video Game Plus. You gotta understand, my country is run by a bunch of corrupt, nasty, really nasty bastards when it comes to imports. You want to import something and it's expensive as fuck. The shipping costs are ridiculous. Even though we're part of North America, we do not have that business relationship, that shipping relationship with other countries. Like Canada and the US, they have a wonderful relationship. But here, it's like, no. Fucking taxes, fucking customs, customs, whatever it's pronounced. It ruins everything. Everything. So taxes are ridiculous. They have free shipping. Alright. Video Games Plus. It's a Canadian store. Alright, so I'm just gonna look for any popular RPG. Let's look for Star Ocean. The second story R. On PS4. Well, that's a really expensive game right here. It's 65 Canadian dollars right now, which is the equivalent of like 50 US dollars, I think. Okay. I don't think there's free shipping. Octopath is 80. Why is Octopath $80? Holy shit. In the PS4 version, no less. Okay, Shining Resonance Refrain is 20 Canadian dollars? Fuck that game, but I kind of want it. 20 Canadian dollars is like 15 US dollars. So, I don't have an account. Oh, here we go. Free shipping worldwide when you spend $80 plus. So there's a catch. You see, it's not cheap. I knew it, so I was right. I remember correctly. It's not a good website for us Mexicans to buy from, unless we buy a bunch of games. But however, $80, if I can find $80 worth of games that I want, like Shining Resonance Refrain, free shipping to Mexico, maybe I'll give you that. Yeah, but the free shipping isn't free, unless you spend a lot of money. Anyway, so it's a shame our games are $70, but your games are $100. Yeah, pretty much. Anything you see for $50 in your country, it's $60 in Mexico. Taxes are ridiculous here. If you buy a lot of games, more than 3, is the shipping still 20? Well, okay, I answered that already. You need to buy whatever as long as you buy $80. Okay? This fucking music is the last one, man. I have over 400 games in total, and I have a video coming soon about my entire PlayStation 4 collection. 100 games, baby! Coming out in 2 days in this channel. That's it. That's it, everybody. Thank you for watching. This was another edition of the goddamn Q&A. Link to my books in the description. Link to my Patreon if you want to listen to my politically incorrect podcast. And also link to... Did I say link to my books already? Well, again, link to my fucking books on the description. And also link to my Twitch. Follow me on Twitch, everybody. And that's it. song's still playing. Anyway, whatever. I'm gonna leave you guys with that song. It's fucking awesome.